Intelligence is supposed to make life easier, to illuminate the path, to simplify choices, to remove the fog that blinds the rest. And yet, for the truly intelligent, life rarely feels simple, because intelligence doesn't simplify the world, it multiplies it. It makes every answer conditional, every truth relative, every certainty porous. It gives you more awareness, not more peace. The result is a life of contradictions, beautiful, maddening, inescapable. Here are the 8 paradoxes only highly intelligent people face. 1. The more you know, the less you believe. Intelligence trains you to question everything, which is noble, until it's exhausting. You dissect every assumption, test every claim, dismantle every truth until none of them stand. But living without belief is like breathing without air. You end up floating, weightless, clever, and utterly unanchored. The paradox is that the smarter you are, the harder it becomes to believe in anything, even in yourself. Faith, once lost to intellect, rarely returns. And without faith, in people, in ideas, in meaning, intelligence becomes sterile. It describes the world perfectly and changes nothing. 2. The more you think, the less you do. You'd imagine that intelligence produces action. It doesn't. It produces thought about action, which is not the same thing. You think so deeply that the momentum dies before the motion begins. You analyze every consequence, model every variable, predict every outcome, until the thrill of possibility evaporates. By the time the average person starts, you've already simulated failure in 10 different ways. And so you wait, you plan, you perfect, until the window closes. The paradox is that intelligence gives you the tools to act perfectly, and the fear to never act at all. 3. The more you care, the harder it is to connect. You understand people too well. You see their insecurities, their contradictions, the small self-deceptions that make them bearable to themselves. You empathize, and that empathy creates distance. Because understanding someone doesn't mean you can stand them. It means you see the machinery behind their behavior. You don't take offense, but you also don't feel closeness. You can't hate them, but you can't love them either. Not blindly, not freely, not the way the unthinking can. So you stay detached, watching the theater of human frailty from the balcony of reason. The paradox: the more you understand others, the harder it becomes to belong to them. 4. The more capable you are, the less satisfied you feel. Intelligence raises your standards, for yourself, for others, for life. You see what excellence could be, and mediocrity becomes unbearable. You do 10 things well, but you notice the 11th that could have been perfect. You get praise, but you hear the silence between the claps. Success brings no rest, only recalibration. Because when you finally reach the summit, your mind instantly imagines a higher mountain. The paradox: the smarter you are, the more competence becomes your curse. You can achieve everything except contentment. 5. The more self-aware you are, the harder it is to be spontaneous. The intelligent mind doesn't just live, it observes itself living. You're in a constant double exposure, actor and analyst, participant and witness. You don't laugh, you examine your laughter. You don't speak, you measure the effect of your words as you re-speaking them. You don't feel, you interpret your feelings like footnotes in a textbook. That self-awareness, though admirable, is paralyzing. Because spontaneity requires blindness, and intelligence is incapable of closing its eyes. The paradox: you crave authenticity, but your mind won't stop editing. 6. The more options you have, the harder it is to choose. Choice is freedom, but too much freedom is chaos. An intelligent mind sees infinite paths, and none feel right. You understand the consequences of each decision too well. You see the branching futures, the lost possibilities, the invisible costs. You want to optimize life like an equation, right? But life is not math, it's improvisation. So you hesitate. You analyze until enthusiasm fades, until all paths feel equally flawed. The paradox: intelligence gives you more choices and makes you too conscious to enjoy any of them. 7. The more you seek truth, the more isolated you become. Most people bond over illusion, shared stories, convenient simplifications, social lies. You, on the other hand, insist on truth. You correct, clarify, question, dissect. It's noble, but it ruins parties. People don't want truth. They want comfort disguised as certainty. And when you strip that comfort away, they retreat. So you build honesty, and they build distance. And soon you find yourself surrounded by truth, but starved for touch. The paradox: you can lie to others, but you can live among them either. 8. The more clearly you see life, the less meaning it seems to have. Ignorance is a form of gravity. It keeps you grounded. But once you outgrow the illusions that hold most people together, the illusions of fairness, permanence, simplicity, the air thins. You understand the mechanics of existence, but not its purpose. You can explain love chemically, death biologically, morality sociologically, and yet none of it fills the silence inside. Because meaning doesn't survive dissection. You can study it, but you can't keep it. The moment you look too closely, it dissolves. The paradox: the more light you find, the more shadows you create. Intelligence, then, is not a gift of certainty. It's a mirror of contradictions. It makes you capable of understanding everything and at peace with nothing. But that's precisely where its beauty lies. Because living intelligently isn't about escaping paradox. It's about embracing it. It's about accepting that your thoughts will never stop, your emotions will never align, and your search will never end, and learning to dance anyway. The goal isn't to solve the contradictions, it's to survive them gracefully. Because paradox isn't the enemy of intelligence, it's the proof that your mind is alive. This is high IQ society, where contradiction becomes clarity.